Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to test out some new stuff and I feel like I have to explain because the beginning's a voiceover so I don't say it there. I anti-hauled the Prism palette. I said I didn't like it. I said I wouldn't want it. I mean, I looked at the color story and I wasn't very inspired. And then when it was on sale, plus a 20% off for 26 bucks, I figured I'd pick it up. For 42, not so much. But I really felt like I needed to explain myself because I said I wasn't going to get it and I really like it now that I have it. So I do use this today. I jump into the Natasha Denona Diamond Blush palette. I use the new Cushion Foundation from Wet n Wild. So if that's something you're into, make sure to keep on watching. And please don't forget, I do upload twice a week. So subscribe because that's the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. And without further ado, let's get right into it. And yes, the eyes are a voiceover just to get through them really quick because I didn't want to harp on it too long. So let's get right into it. So I am using the Prism palette from Anastasia, and starting with Unity as my transition shade on an R37 brush from Morphe, I'm just going to buff that in the entire crease, and this is just going to really define where we want the shape of the halo to go. Then going into Eden, which I think is a really beautiful salmon-toned shade, we're going to lay this directly into the crease. Now the purpose of this shade is it's a little bit warmer, and when I like to do a cool tone lid, which today I'm going to be using a cool purple, I really like having that contrast of a warm crease blown out above the cool toned lid. Next, I'm going into Lure, which is a mauvey light purple, which later I'll be going in with Androgyny, the liquid lip from Jeffree Star. And I start by blowing this all over the crease, and then I go into a pointed brush from Sigma, and I kind of more definedly put it into the crease. And you'll notice I continue to alternate between that first transition shade just to blend out any harshness. Then going into Saturn, I'm going to do a little bit more warmth because I did lose a lot of it with that purple. And again, I want the right tone, but I don't want it to be super warm. Then I will be putting the dark brown shade Parallel and then blending it out on the inner and outer portion of the eye. And this is what's really going to help to create that halo effect. Now, you do want to layer the color slowly, so I'm going back and forth, layering it up, blending it out, layering it up, blending it out. Then, using that same shade on that pointy blender brush, I'm really depositing quite a bit of that into the crease, just because I really want that drastic brown to meet where that warm crease is laid down. Then on my finger, I'm taking Dimension, which is a very cool toned shimmery purple, and I'm putting that all over the lid and then blending it out. And then taking Lucid, which is the frosty white highlight shade, I'm adding a little bit more to the center of the lid and then layering and blending it out before cleaning up with a makeup wipe. Okay, so we'll come back after to finish up the rest of the eyes, but to prime the skin, I'm going to be going in today with the Touch in Sol No Pore Bloom Primer, which, I mean, I've always loved this, but I've just lately been liking it a whole lot more again. I go through phases where, like, I'll use the same 3 primers. So for foundation today, I'm going to be testing out the new Mega Cushion Foundation from Wet n Wild. I picked the shade 109A Natural Beige. Now, I'm not going to use the little applicator it came with. I'm just going to take my Morphe sponge and go right into it. I love the original Photo Focus foundation, so I got a recommendation from this. Oh, we get a lot of product, so I figured I would try it out. Okay, so I'm getting kind of like I don't know if you can see it. Oh, wow, I'm white. So I don't know if you can see it, but I'm getting a little bit more of like a satin finish. Like there's a little bit of a shine on there that I don't necessarily like. Now I am sure that that'll come down if I add some powder to it. But I don't remember the original Photo Focus being necessarily satin or shiny looking. So not sure how I'm going to feel about it, but benefit of the doubt, I will keep going. The coverage is nice. I've never actually used a cushion foundation just because I don't find them necessarily sanitary, but I really like that I can just kind of tap my sponge in there, get a little extra product, add a little more coverage where I feel I might need it, and I don't have to go in with like another pump or another half pump. I could just right in, add coverage. So for concealer, this is not new. I've used it, I think, twice before, but this is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define. And, I mean, it's kind of new. I've only used it a few times. So normally at this point I would be going in with some powders, but I am testing out some cream products, so I'm gonna do that before powder. This is the new Diamond and Blush palette from Natasha Denona. This one is Daria, which I kind of felt was the more wearable shade for me. So it has these really cool cream blush and cream highlighter, and then 4 powders. So I'm gonna lay down a little bit of the cream highlighter and the cream blush on the clean side of my sponge. Now, I don't love cream blushes, but I do love Natasha Denona, so obviously I'm going to try it. And then on the other side, with just a little bit of the Glow Base, I'm going to take, okay, that's doing a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of the Glow Cream and put that just on the high points. Not getting much. So I'm just going to grab some of my Too Faced Ethereal Setting Powder and set down the concealer. And then to set the rest of the face, as always, my Studio Fix powder in NW25. So I'm not hating the cream blush, but I'm not loving it either, which could be kind of a testament to the fact that I don't like seeing myself without contour and bronzer before the blush goes on. But, I mean, we'll kind of have to get over that, I guess. So I'm just going to quickly contour and bronze off camera because nothing's changed. I'll be using my Shade and Light and my Marc Jacobs as always, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we are back, and I'm going to be going into powder blush. This is, it's just called powder blush. I'm going to be taking that on the Sonia Kashuk number 29, and I'm just going to add a little bit to the high points of the face. The one thing I will say is it is a very flattering blush color. It's a little pinkier than I normally go for, but I really like how it looks. I do like to blend my blush into my bronzer and contour though. So it's kind of looking a little pinky everywhere, but I actually don't hate it. Let's try Glow. The first one is called Duo Glow, which is exactly as the name suggests. It is like a gold and pink duochrome. The next is Glow Extreme, which is actually it looks kind of very wet, like an oily white, wet on the skin highlighter. And the last one is called Diamond Powder, which, as the name suggests, yep, is just a blinding, glowy, diamondy, sparkly. I feel like I'm going to use that a lot as like a top coat on the eyes. Okay, before I do anything else, I'm going to take a little bit of the Diamond Powder on the eyes just to kind of see what it does. Oh, that's really pretty. Okay, I don't know if that's doing anything on camera, but in real life, I'm getting like some intense sparkle, and it is making the center of the halo pop even more than it was before, and I think I really like it. So for the face, I'm gonna start with Glow Extreme, this shade right here, and let's see how it sits on the face. So I really like it. I think layering these is the trick because, as everybody knows, I go really, really extra on the highlight, and a lot of people are a little more natural and wearable. So for me, this is actually a little on the more casual side. I mean, I would then build this up and make it blinding. The one thing I'm not loving, but it is a highlighter, is it is accentuating a little texture I have going on, which is kind of shitty because I never have texture going on, but I guess I'll get over that. And then to amp it up a little bit more, I'm going to go in with a little bit of that Diamond Powder over just the cheeks. Oh, that's really pretty. Part of me really didn't want to love this because then I know I'm going to end up wanting to go back and get the other one too because there are two of these. But this is just really, really pretty. And I feel like it's different. Like this diamond powder, like I have a bunch of the diamond glow powders from Artist Couture and they have a similar sparkle. But this one just looks like the perfect combination of wet on the skin and sparkly and just perfect. Crap, it's beautiful. Okay, so to finish up the under eye, I'm going to go back into the Prism palette, this time on a Morphe E18. It's just a regular pencil brush. And I'm going to start by taking a little bit of Eden, the salmon shade, and just throwing that on the lower lash line. At this point, I'm going to throw the Makeup Geek Full Spectrum Liner. This is the nude one on my waterline. And then taking a little bit of Lure, the mauve purple shade, I'm just going to blend that into Eden. Then on a small smudger brush, this is the Morphe M508. I'm going to kind of emulate exactly what I did on top on the bottom. So I'm going to start by taking Parallel, the brown, and just smoking a little bit of that onto the outer and inner portions of the under eye. And with a tiny little pencil brush, I'm just going to smudge that out, but not into the middle of the eye. Then in the center of the under eye, I'm going to take Dimension, the purple. And then on the Morphe 213, which is an even smaller smudger brush, I'm going to take Lucid, I guess it's like it is a highlighting shade, but it's like a white. I'm going to take that on both the brow bone and in the center of the waterline. Now to make the lid sparkle even more, I'm going to be going into the My Alter Ego kit from Hank & Henry. This is the El Jefe one. And I'm going to be taking the Luster Lights pigment. And I'm just going to, with a little Fix Plus, I'm just going to press that onto the center of the lid. All right, I'm just going to go throw on lashes, liner. No, not lashes. I'm going to go throw on mascara and liner off camera, and I'll be right back. All right, so I just threw on the Voluminous Superstar Fiber Mascara from L'Oreal, and on my lower lashes, the Skinny Mascara from NYX. And I'm just going to add a little bit of glitter to the lid. So big surprise, I'm going to be taking Diamond Dust from Stila, which has been my long favorite for a long time. I'm just going to take a very small amount in the center of the lid. Then I'm just going to set it down with a little Skindinavia Oil Control setting spray. So there's a lot going on the eye. It's a little warm tone, a little cool tone, so I wanted to do a nude, but not like a nudie nude, if that makes sense. So I'm going to be taking Androgyny from Jeffree Star, which is a very, pretty off purpley mauvey nude. I guess that's a good way to put it. With all the hints of purple, I think it's going to go really well. So I'm just going to throw that on quickly. And that's the finished look. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye.